CEO and good morning, America. Yeah. Hold on here. Let me get this thing here just right. There we go. You know what? I think if you was looking at which is the biggest threat, World War III or wokers, the teachers of woke and all this kind of stuff, I would say they're both dangerous. But the thing is, right now, these dang TikTokers, these teachers that's going on TikTok, and you go listen. If you want a good laugh and a good cry, uh, and maybe blowing your stack, that would be the thing to do. Go to TikTok and just sit there and see them insane TikTok teachers. You already got a lot of nuts on there anyway. I don't like TikTok. All right, it's run by China, all right, and it, like, say for example, all right, you can do lip syncing type things, videos, whatever, right, on TikTok. Now, if you uh like you just have music, like karaoke, and you're singing, they won't accept that. They just won't. But unless you're in an insane TikToker, like 24/7 insane, then like, because I think they look, the Chinese enjoy making fun of us, you know. Uh, but it don't help when you got a bunch of idiots on, as Grandpa Silas would say, idiots. Yeah, you got them on there. All right, just for example, what am I getting at? Well, first of all, I won't post anything more on TikTok as far as me posting anything ever on there. I'm totally 1000% done with posting anything on TikTok. You know, uh, but anyway, I see these teachers. See, they are just went insane, right? They sitting there trying teaching kids uh how to properly refer to them. Little children, little babies. Confusing their minds. Hey, Ocio, Danny, yo. Yeah, there's in there. I saw this one clip. This one teacher doesn't like being referred to with the kids and telling the kids this crap now, telling them that I'm not referred to as she. It's they or them. Uh, okay. All right, you're talking to one person, and she is a she. She's not an it. She's not a they. She's not a them. But she's confusing these kids' mind, and when another kid sits there and says, "You got to say that it's they." Okay. And another one, a teacher getting over talking about how, it just made her day when the kids, come up and ask them how do they, what is it that what is her name? Asked her, what is her name? She says Parker, and then says, what pronouns do you go by? It's on the board. Hello. These are the kind of people that's teaching our kids. They're crackers. And that's to put it politely. I could think of a lot of other things. So couldn't you. That is insane. Dang, man, they are absolutely crazy. I don't know. When we was in school, when I was in school, we had a lot of names for teachers, but they weren't pleasant. Now we had a few good ones. I have to admit that, but the overall majority of them, uh, except that it didn't have to do with anything like uh, they didn't have like the women didn't have whiskers or something. But I tell you what. We had some wild and really crazy names, and I can't mention them here. They they're like, "Hey, watch out! The beast is coming!" Oh my goodness! I mean, it is insane with what's going on with these dang teachers. I'm telling you. In fact, they don't even know if they're a who or a what or he, she, them. They don't know. Like one day, they are 1 week, maybe a month. They may feel like a dog. Maybe the next, they'll feel like I'm a tree. Or maybe they might feel like a shrub, and it goes on. You know, I'm sorry, folks. You there. I have some friends that are gay. All right, and even they don't agree with this. They even agree that there are only two genders. Okay, there's either male or female. All right, what's so confusing about that? But I mean, these people are insane. They're confusing, getting in the heads of our children and our grandchildren, and screwing their minds up. If I found out that a teacher was doing that to my granddaughter, I'd have some mighty powerful words for that one. Face to face. Yeah, I'd probably get arrested, but I wouldn't feel sorry about it either. Because I think that, those people should be locked up personally. They are the threat. And they consider us a threat. And they're the ones who's endangering and abusing our children, getting in their heads. I like that Alex Stein boy. That dude, he's crazy. He has fun out of making it. It's like he'd go to these meetings, trolling, right? And and he used to there let on like it was his turn to get up and speak, and all this and address the speaker, the council, and tell them, that he had a complaint against the multiverse. Yeah, because he was sexually assaulted in the metaverse. Did I say multiverse? Metaverse. Excuse me. Dang TikTokers. But anyway, he sits there and he makes fun. It is funny, hilarious. But we have all kinds of threats. We really do. Left and right. I mean, we you can't get past it. It is crazy. It is insanity. And we have allowed these idiots in there, right? Uh, Yeah, but I can tell you now there, bro, that these teachers, what they're teaching the children, and and these are little kids, little babies, sitting there teaching them the stuff about pronouns. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now, when we were going to school, what we learned about pronouns ain't what these idiots are doing. Oh, oh yeah. Yeah, I bet you got in a lot of trouble, didn't you? Did they ever get her? Did she ever lose her job? Now these things, these 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 teachers, I'm telling you, where did I put that? Dang it, I lost it. Oh, there it is. Uh, I'll tell you right now. Like I had mentioned before, uh, I'm one that if I found out that they were doing that to my granddaughter, now my granddaughter has a mental condition, you know. She is not literally, she's not her, mentally, she's not her chronological age. She's right now, I think, 16, about 16, 15, 16 years old. And she like a little kid, a little baby. And anyway, um, I'll tell you, you know, she gets special ed, you know, and I'm one. If I found out, I know what the her papa mama would do. But see, they you know, if I found out a teacher was teaching this crap to my granddaughter, they think they'd catch hell from my daughter and her husband, my son-in-law. They ain't seen what I do yet. Cause see, this is insane, insane, absolutely insane. And yet we're the threat, and yet they are the ones who are abusing our children. You know, and it's insane. It really is. You know, uh, yeah, yeah. Things got really screwed up there, bro. They have. They really got all screwed up. Really screwed up. And now, I mean, you know, and for anyone, you know, that feels wants to leave comments, they can feel free to. Is that like what would they do if they found out a teacher was doing that to their children? Seriously, I mean, really, what would one do? But I'll tell you right now. Excuse me. The tea is getting to me. I'm a poet, and I didn't know it, and neither did anyone else. Iced tea in the morning. Mmm, mm. And not just iced tea, but sweet peach iced tea. Peachy keen, right? But yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, you got all these idiots pulling this crap, right? And you sit there and you watch TikTok, you know, and see these nuts on there. You know, the Chinese are sitting there, you know, they're that's their platform, and yet they're having a laugh on the crazy Americans. It is people like that that give good people bad names. That's my opinion and my thoughts, right? Who knows? Maybe end up turn around at UBTube would turn around and remove this video, right? hmm I mean, yeah, makes you wish Elon Musk would take over YouTube. I mean, you got Twitter, just so that way people can be able to voice their opinions, you know, and I really do. I wish I wish that they would. I really do. I really wish it. Though we know him, Musk won't take over it, and there's a hope, please. But who knows? But you know, it's really crazy. I mean, you can't come out and tell absolute truth on here because it's got to a point you say too much and they block you. All right, you speak anything out about the way they handled the pandemic and stuff. Guess what? Your video is gone, and if you get like the same with the copyright strikes, same thing here. They'll give you about 2 or 3 strikes, and then you're not only is your video gone, but your channel is gone. But see, I done made up in my mind that if they remove my channel, see, I ain't worried about it. Because I'm not allowing people to dictate to me what I can say and what I can't say. Every one of us has a right to our opinions and views. We can always disagree. And that's what made this country great, right? We can agree to disagree, but to share our thoughts or opinions as long as those thoughts or those opinions is not how we say threatening in any way to a person's life or and such. I hear you, bro. I hear you. That's why I'm not worried, and on top of that, I'm on Rumble too, so I'm not worried about it. I just hate it that you got these platforms like like here YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and all the other Snapchat and what have you out there, where your view does not matter unless you are a communist. If you are a communist, your opinion matters. If you're for freedom and for what is right and good in this world, guess what? You're a threat. Yeah. And watch the ticks all come out in full force. Have you ever went into the woods during the summer and going doing your exploring, whatever that may be, and then when you get out, all of a sudden you're covered, literally covered with ticks, and if your dog's with you, they're just loaded with them. And if your dog's got long hair, good luck on trying to get all them ticks. Well, that's what that reminds me of. These idiots, don't allow anyone to give their opinions unless you know if your opinion, should I say, is leftist, communist, socialist. If you're on the left, far left, All right, your opinion matters. But if you are for all that is good in this world and for freedom, then and you give your opinion before they remove your account or whatever, they'll be on you like ticks, like those ticks in the woods. You know, I mean, they'd be all over you. So yeah, it is insane all the way around. And I have something that I wanted to share with everyone. Where is that? Now, if this thing freezes up, don't panic. You know, if I get temporarily cut off, because what I will do is refresh this. Uh, my friends all say I should do Facebook and Twitter, all that other stuff, but it seems like a headache to me. Well, you know, of course, I tried Twitter and really don't get it per se. It's confusing, but then I'm an old fart too, you know. But then Facebook, you know, the only reason why I am on Facebook is because of my friends, you know, and family. Outside of that, if it wasn't for that, I would be off. I wouldn't even be on Facebook unless Facebook removes me. Then no, no. Um, let me. Oh, okay. All right. Here. All right. I gotta show this. All right. This is Alex Stein, and he's having fun out of these woke people and stuff. You know, you got to check this out. Here's the first one. All right, this is funny.
Make us better citizens of Allen. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that input, and I will tell you that since what you present is not necessarily on our agenda, we can't necessarily discuss it, but we can refer that to the city manager to have him look into doing something to respond to
He's
your
coming
comment.
up.
Thank you. Next, we have a Primetime Stein.
Hello, Mayor. My name is Primetime Stein. I'd like to keep my address private for personal reasons. I work at a popular Chili's. I want to start off by I'm denouncing the Dallas Cowboys. I was a fan of them, but no longer am I a fan of them.
All right, this is hilarious, totally hilarious, and I'm hoping you're enjoying this because this is, I mean, this goes, you know, he's having fun out of the TikTok or the woke movement stuff, but it's hilarious. But the sad thing is, you got people that are really like this. Now, this is for uh, you know, trolling for grins and giggles, but to drive also at the same time driving a point to the idiots, right? But check it out.
They had a major executive, Rich Dalrymple, got in trouble for sexual assault. They had to pay $2.4 million to the cheerleaders because they were filming them illegally, as well as Jerry Jones has an illegitimate daughter named Alexandra Davis that he will not take credit for. And the reason why this is so pertinent today is because although I am a Dallas Cowboys fan, the reason why this is so important because I was recently sexually assaulted within the metaverse. Recently, children are very careful of the words I use, but hooked up to some orifices of mine. And it was actually, they say on the manual, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Dave, but it's actually indistinguishable from actual physical intercourse. And I'll be honest, I was having a good time until things got wildly insane. Other people's avatars were starting to take advantage of my avatar, and I felt helpless. I felt out of.
And the thing is, you know, this is Alex Stein having fun. He does this. He goes to these meetings and stuff and pull these outrageous stuff, right? The pranks, but he's trolling them and all this. But the thing is, what he's doing, it goes to show the insanity. He's doing this on purpose, you know, for fun, but also trying to drive home a point. And you got these people in the woke movement and stuff that are seriously like us. He's not serious, but it's insane. It's this is hilarious, but it's sad at the same time knowing that there are real people out there like this.
Control, Dave. For the first time in my life, I'm a tech guy, and this equipment was being used. A gargoyle was doing stuff to me. Somebody like Wendy's, the girl from the sandwich shop, the popular hamburger place, was doing stuff to me. It was absolutely frightening. It was something like you would see out of, some sort of satanic movie. And the reason why I'm here, Chris, is I need your help getting Mark Zuckerberg's attention, because if this can happen to me, this can happen to other children, because Mayor Falk, I'm a professional when it comes to the internet. I'm on there all day long. So when I'm inside the metaverse, that's my second home. That's my second life. That's where I really grind and shine. I know I have a lot of flamboyance now. I'm handsome. I'm tall. You think I check a lot of boxes here. But in the metaverse, I'm 10 feet tall. I'm balling. I got wings. I'm like a bird. I'm flying. You can't do that here. But that doesn't give them the right to sexually harass me or sexually assault me. They say, oh, look at Shorty, looking fine. They say some nasty stuff, way worse than that, and I have to censor myself because of the situation we're in. But I'm telling you, Dave, it can very easily happen to you. I don't know if you have an online account, but I'm telling you, you log into this, the Oculus 69, you plug this thing into it, it plugs into you, it feels great. But somebody on the other end can take advantage of you, and they can go too far, and that's what happens. So I need your help, Eric, getting the attention of Mark Zuckerberg. I need your help, Mayor Folk, bringing attention to this. So if this happens again, it's not going to be me. It's going to be one of these kids. It's going to be you next time, Shelly. You're going to order it on HSN, Home Shopping Network. Oh, this is a great thing. I'm going to plug it in. I'm wearing it on my head. Next thing you know, you have a gargoyle doing stuff to you that you would never even imagine. That can happen to you. I want that to be known. So we need to bring attention to the sexual assaults of the Dallas Cowboys, and we need to tell Mark Zuckerberg how I was sexually assaulted within the metaverse, Dave. I really need your help and your attention.
Your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stein.
Oh God. And just think there are people that actually are like that, And but wouldn't that be scary, man? Your kids in this metaverse, and they're grown and they're living at home in the basement, you know. Oh heck, if I had a son and living at home and was actually like that, I'd throw him out. I'd be like, oh, no, 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 no. You want to behave and act like an idiot? You go and get your own place and behave like an idiot, not here. Oh God. And then that's insanity, isn't it? I mean, that's crazy, but that was hilarious. I mean, like I said, it's funny, but at the same time, it's sad because, there in real life, there are people that behave that way. And I like the way Alex Stein does his trolling stuff. He drives home a point with some humor, and the guy's brave, I'm telling you. But yeah, I mean, people ought to go to his channel and check out some of his stuff. I mean, you want some good laughs, Oh yeah, there's plenty there. Okay, yeah. When I first saw that at first, I didn't know that was Alex Stein. And I'm like, oh come on, you're kidding me, like. And then I got to realize, oh, that's Mr. Stein. Oh, okay. Let's see here. I have something else. Where is it? Oh yeah. Now this is about a mom, that she gives a fiery speech after a teacher allegedly tried to teach 8 years old about sexual orientation. 8 years old, and but some of them don't even stop there. Some of them will do that with your 6 year old. But so anyway, Where is that? Oh, there it is. Here it comes. Here it is.
Are we doing Bible studies in classrooms? No, we're not, right? So why is this a certain agenda being pushed into the classrooms? I'm here to bring awareness to the emails that had surfaced earlier this month. The one I find most disturbing of all is of a third grade teacher trying to talk about sex with 8-year-old students. These are 8-year-old children that she's trying to hold a sexual orientation and their objection to it and pull their kid out. And instead of this teacher concerned of what a district and for ways of how she can continue to teach sexual orientation to her third grade class. You guys believe that is being held? This wasn't just any sexuality class. This was specifically designed 3 days a week. She taught LGBTQ curriculum in her class. It raises the question, how many of those students are excelling in that classroom? Is everybody in that class getting A's in math, English, grammar, social studies? That we can dedicate 3 days a week to teach 8-year-olds about sexual orientation? I don't care what kind of sex is being discussed. The word sexuality, nudity does not belong in the ears in a classroom of 8-year-old kids.
I agree.
And when a parent showed their concern, what does this teacher do? Behind the parents trying to find ways of respect has been shown to Christian conservative parents.
And the thing is, she is right that these teachers, you know, like I was talking to you about those woke there on TikTok, you know, since especially since the law is passing about don't say gay bill and all this, right? Well, yeah, they come out and say they're still going to do it, you know, and I tell you what, that's pretty sick, man. That's sick. These sick individuals teach children and our grandchildren, you know. And I mean, it really is. It is real insane. You know, it is crazy, man. And you get this stuff here. Oh heck, this lady, I applaud her, this mother, because she's handling it a lot better than what I would. I would be exploding. And even though I don't like to use colorful metaphors, I'd be using every colorful metaphor in the book when it comes to my kids and grandchildren. You know, well, now my grandchildren, but you know what I mean. I mean, would not put up with this, you know. And I feel for this mother and these other mothers, you know, and these fathers, and you know, having to put up with this kind of crap. Oh man, that is just outright wrong on every aspect.
Is becoming very obvious. It's like all of a sudden, just because we don't fit the agenda, we don't fit within the parameters of the agenda that's being pushed, we're being disregarded and pushed to the side. We're not talking about having people excluded. We're talking about the level of uncomfortability that some parents are experiencing, and that's important. Because if you guys want to talk about including all, listening to all, every student matters, our kids matter too.
That's right.
And we don't want those subjects being taught to children who are just 8 years old. And the topics get worse and worse, and the subjects get more detailed. And I'm sorry, are we doing Bible studies in classrooms? No, we're not, right? So why is this a certain agenda being pushed into the classrooms? But if we don't take a stand and we don't share our voice, they're just going to sweep this under the rug.
Oh yeah.
Why should a parent overhear her 8-year-old kid being taught about sex?
Mrs. Tiber says, "Good morning, Sally and Craig. As you know, I teach third grade. Today I talked to my class about LGBTQ Pride Month and played 2 short videos from YouTube that were geared toward kids. A parent who heard the lesson and discussion made her daughter leave the Zoom and texted me asking when I was done discussing sexual orientation so that she can let her kids back onto Zoom. I was planning on doing more lessons tomorrow and Wednesday, but now I'm afraid to." After sending the email, Mrs. Tiber received a response from Mr. Craig Lewis, part of district staff, that said, "Do not be concerned or afraid. Your principal should support you, as I know that our district, including Vivian, does," end quote. This district staffer goes even further and gives more media recommendations to the teacher, but says to steer clear of content that says sexual or coming out, since it may raise red flags. In other words, coaching this teacher on proven methods to push her agenda, but to stay under the radar. Immediately after the release of this email chain, the parents at Jefferson Elementary who have had Ms. Tiber as their child's teacher reached out to the principal and demanded answers. Why is...
Yeah, I mean, this is insane, man. I mean, it is really insane. And you got this stuff going on. And yet these teachers are complaining, oh, they're just so mistreated and misunderstood. Well, I don't want to understand that. To me, it's sick, right? Absolutely sick. And they allow them in school. If anyone has ever read the Communist Manifesto, they would understand that this is part of that crap. There's a reason for the madness. And that's what it is, madness. And that reason is scary, man. It is really scary. I have one more thing here I want to share. You got to listen to this. This is on Ukraine. It's latest. Russia warns threat of World War III is real. You got to hear. There's so much on this right now, but you got to hear this. I wasn't planning on having anything real long on this, but I'll just let you watch this little short clip.
Top diplomat testifies at Capitol Hill and the budget hearings for a second straight day today as members of the State Department are returning to the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv.
Let's turn now to Bree Jackson, who joins us with the very latest. Bree, good morning.
Hi, Evrod, Rhonda. Russia warns the threat of World War III is real if the West continues to provide weapons to Ukraine.
Oh, you saw it?
Ukrainian officials say a third mass grave was found in Mariupol and claim civilians were forced to dig it in exchange for food and water. The UN secretary says the violence must end.
I came to Moscow as a messenger of peace.
After his meeting with Vladimir Putin, the UN says Russia's president agreed in principle for the Red Cross to help evacuate civilians from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol. Russia is still ramping up its attacks and rhetoric, saying the risk of World War III is real if the West continues to supply weapons to Ukraine.
Специальной военной операции.
As soon as it ends up in Ukraine, these arms and hardware become legitimate goals and targets for our military.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin pressed allies to send even more military support and heavier weapons, despite Russia's warning.
It's dangerous, and any kind of rhetoric like that, I think is unhelpful.
On Capitol Hill, the Secretary of State urges Congress to keep the flow of arms and humanitarian aid going.
I have to tell you, I felt some pride in what the United States has done to support the Ukrainian government and its people, and an even firmer conviction that we must not let up.
Helping Ukraine win this war and making sure Russia does not have the means to start future conflicts. Defense Secretary Austin says the U.S. and its European allies have formed a contact group. They'll meet monthly to discuss the strategy for Ukraine to defeat Russia. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson for Local 4 News.
I mean, that's really insane, this whole thing. I mean, first we have, TikTokers, woke TikTokers, should I say. And that's our teachers of all things. And then Then you have this conflict going on in Ukraine with Ukraine and Russia. Okay, now, mind you, I'm on two mindsets here, all right? All right, one, I'm for the innocent people that live in Ukraine, all right, and have to put up with all this, and I believe that, they should have freedom. But when you're dealing with the governments now, you're dealing totally with something altogether different, all right? And now, see, on the surface, you see the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, as just an innocent bystander type thing, right? That he's a champion for the people. But I when you get to really digging and listening to what's going on and ciphering through which is just crap and which is legit, I tell you what, it's scary. And the whole thing is, all right, the U.S. all right keeps sending all these weapons and everything over there, and constantly, more and more every day, right? So what is this leading up to? They are wanting a war. And we're not talking a little war just over. Right now, it's a war by proxy. That's to sum it up. That's what it is, a war by proxy. The U.S. is fighting Russia in NATO too. I mean, is fighting Russia through Ukrainians, the Ukraine people, the nation there. Yeah, and but see, and they're pushing buttons, right? More or less, pushing people's buttons. And the thing is, it's going, and it is now. If you get to looking and checking it out on all reports, which I can't go through all that now due to time, but I will cover more on that on another live. But I tell you right now, what we are seeing is the very beginning stage of World War III. But it's not just going to be Russia. If anyone who even thinks that it's just going to be Russia, forget it. China's doing its saber rattling, and North Korea is wanting to jump in. He's like, "Oh yeah, let me in there. Oh, I can't get. Oh, I want to get in there. Let's let's get in it." Oh man, they want it so bad they can taste it. See, the U.S. has many enemies, and the U.S. is ahead over NATO, right? So where is that? Where is this all pointing to? All right, and they know that Russia has already said that this is going to, in so many words, and I'm paraphrasing here, that they're going to, uh, they're going to keep bringing this stuff over, these weapons and supplies, and hey, it's already a declaration of war. So you keep it up and see where it's going. And they're not about to stop. It's going to keep going and going. And, well, you've heard the reports. Now, mind you, I do know, and some of you know, that there's some of those reports that are false flags. Um, Fog of war type stuff. Now, we're never going to know every single little thing because they're going to make sure they keep a lot of that hushity hush. And this is a fact. But one thing is certain is that what is going to, uh, give birth out of all this, something not pleasant for any of us. Yeah, I see that, the First Nations with this World War III, it will be the NATO nations, and then, well, eventually right here on our doorstep. So, but when that all is going to take place, I'm not a prophet, I'm not a seer, I'm not a politician, so that's got the insight on all that, stuff, who could tell you all the secret stuff. Now, I do understand why, and in some aspects, why the government can't afford to allow information to get out, so that because of the enemy. And the way reporters are today, they spill the beans. Sometimes the beans does get spilled, and the government, your military and everything has to make other plans because somebody let the cat out of the bag, and the cat's gone crazy. Yeah, so the thing is, whether it's war or natural disasters, it is only good sense to be prepared for all that. That's just it. But we are looking at war. Don't sit there and shake your heads and, oh, it's not going to happen. No, never. No, not going to happen. No, no, no. It will happen. You and I cannot say that it's going to happen tomorrow. We can't say it's going to happen next week or next month or next year. We cannot say with a certainty when it will happen, but we can say that it will happen. And if you ever go make fun of people that, well, that would normally be true there, bro. I agree with you in part on that. But the problem is now, I mean, I all right. My point. You ever go to TikTok and these other social medias? You hear these idiots and these other politicians in these different states with these mayors and then the governors and all this, just totally for disarming people. Oh yeah, I know there'll be people that'll still have their guns, but see, we're living in a time where nothing makes sense anymore. You know, common sense has went out the window, out the back door, and we're dealing with people now who are unstable. Uh, Heck, Danny, we got people here that the enemy was come, they would be insisting, let's surrender, let's give up, all for peace. Especially when it comes to a communist country, because you already got a lot of communists here. They would help them. Come on, we'll help you. Come on. Yeah, I mean it's insane. But you're right. In a normal world, you're right. It would be stupid because now see, China originally a long time ago, like back during the days of World War II and thereafter, uh, they had said that they would not invade or attack the U.S. because behind every blade of grass is a gun. But now, thanks to people like Obama and Clinton and Obama and Biden's administration, oh, see, the special forces had a saying. Is it that went like kill them all, let God sort them out, And the thing is, when you getting people that is invading, I mean, today now, if we was looking back like maybe the 60s, 50s, 40s, around like that. I mean, Oh heck, no country, or even during the 80s, no country in their right mind would want to try to attack and to invade the U.S. But now, well, you got China and Russia owns a good part of land here in the U.S. And they seen, the insanity of this country. They see it. So let's just face it. I mean, we're dealing with a country today that doesn't have a full stack deck, if you catch my drift. And you got too many people that are for communism, that are communists in this country. Yeah, you got a lot of people that are true-blooded freedom patriots, and people who love the country, love freedom and things like this, but it's an insane world. Nothing makes sense anymore. So there, I mean, uh, that was like you saying, nobody's going to invade the USA, as that would be stupid. We're the only country on earth where everyone has a gun, but that's changing. It has been changing for some time, but they've been doing it slowly. And it all points to building up these people, the big bunch of big wigs and stuff like George Soros and these others in there. They have all had this planned out in the beginning. They just didn't do it all at once. But now it's coming to fruition. And it's just insane. It's like, man, it's crazy. But one thing is for sure, that, be prepared. Think about, all right, yeah, you could protect your family with guns and stuff, but when food shortages is that, which we're already just starting to get into all that. I mean, prices going up sky high and all this kind of stuff. And then if you add war on top of it, think about World War II here in this country, let alone World War One, but World War II, in this country, how things was for the people here. But this will be worse than those, So, but my point, what I'm getting at, is to be prepared. Because if we delude ourselves thinking that we will never have war, hold on here, let me, so I can read that, bro. Yeah, but also see, you're dealing with nukes too. You know, we can fight. In a conventional warfare, uh, it would still. I mean, that ain't going to stop them from attacking now because of the insanity of people here. But they will, when they feel that their time is right to make the move, they're going to do it. But if they do it on a conventional scale, they would have a war on their hands like they'd never seen the likes of conventionally. But we're dealing with people, and it don't make. I mean, you got Iranians over who would love to see not only Israel wiped off of the map, they would love to see this country wiped off. And they get a hold of nuclear weapons. They're not. Them jokers are not afraid to die. They're suicidal. So, and then, I mean, you got a bunch of other nutcases out there. It's unstable, but point is, if we be prepared, in other words, like, because see, before you got a threat per se of enemy soldiers, you got the threat of people here. Like you get, for example, a food shortage going on, and gas prices gone so sky high, and what else you want to throw in the mix, people go insane. So they're going to try to invade your home, rob you, steal you, blind of anything you got whatsoever, because they're crazy. So that's where you got to learn, be able to protect yourself, your family, and your property. But yeah, people are nuts. But the thing is, you need to know how to sustain yourself and your family, because you don't want your family to starve. No one does. I mean, who in their right mind wants to see their kids starve, or their wife, or their mother or father, their aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, and all this? You don't want to see that. No. And you got to do what you must do. But we can't convince ourselves that this country will never see war. It will happen. It's inevitable, because if we were dealing with normal circumstances in times and with people, I would say no, it won't happen. But the writing is on the wall, and we can't stop it. You know, and like I said, I nobody that I know of can tell you when all this will take place. There's no one knows. The thing is, people that have prepared for all these worst case scenarios, all right. See, they used to get made. People used to make fun of them and call them crazy. Now they don't look so crazy anymore, do they? Like no, and yet the ones though who go and showing what they have and showing where they got it at and all this. I got all my see, come here, see where I got my food at. Oh, where I keep my guns at. You just told the whole world where everything's at, and guess who's when it all hits the fan? Guess what? Guess whose door they're gonna come knocking? They know where it's at. That don't make sense, But hey, it's a crazy world. So anyway, you know, I think what we have to keep in mind is that we have to be prepared, know what we're going to do, and just that way, when it does hit the fan, you ain't going to panic and going, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Oh, oh, or just sit there comatose. You're sitting there not even knowing what to do, and you don't not even knowing where you're at or nothing. Uh, the world's gone crazy, and not just in this country. I mean, all over. I mean, it's a fact. But you're going to hear me a lot. Always try to encourage everyone to at least be prepared. And if you're not worried about war, then be prepared for like storms. Worst case scenarios, tornadoes, hurricanes, whatever, because you never know when it's going to hit. So you should be prepared. Be safe. Think of your family. If you don't care, if you live alone and you don't have nobody, it's up to you whether you care about yourself, whether you live or die or what, But when you got family and friends and stuff, it is always think of it like this. There's more than just you. It's more than just me. There's always others involved. And if you love them and care for them, you'll do what you can to be prepared when things does go south. It will be taken care of. You don't have to panic. You can be able to take care of your loved ones, the people that matter in your life, as well as yourself. Because, see, we all matter, But unfortunately, though, there's some people in this crazy world don't think, that we all matter, But that's their problem. And then one day when things hit the fan and things ain't going great for them, and say, well, how's that working for you, Sherlock? But be prepared, because, you know, like I say, the writing's on the wall, and you and I cannot change the events that are unfolding. But the thing is, you have to at least have hope. So you pray and you hope for the best. You got to have that. If you don't, hang it up. Pray and hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And you're all set. So that's where I want to be always prepared, but I also want to, just hope and pray for the best. You got to have that. And if you believe in the creator, if you believe in the book of heaven, in everything, if you have faith, then also pray and hope and believe that he will help you, to take care of your family, your loved ones, and everything, and pray and hope that he could give this nation a little bit longer. But the thing is, you gotta be prepared. Gotta be prepared. Be prepared. Oh yeah, be prepared. You don't want to pass it off because it's a dangerous world we're living in. There's nutcases all around. Don't get me wrong now. There's a certain type of crazy that is okay. Uh, the Russians are a joke with their outdated World War II technology. Well, bro, I have to disagree with you on it. Well, I agree and I disagree. Um, that one right there. Did you see their new missiles they got? They got them hypersonic ones, man. And on top of that, what did they call that? I can't remember it now. It's the warhead where it's a multiple warhead that spread out. Some of them are dummies, but there's a few that are the legit thing. So I mean, so in a hypersonic, there ain't no way in this world a person can track one of those and stop it before it even gets anywhere. And they fly under radar. Um, at one, they have never brought out the big guns, and they got them. They just got them. They just ain't been using them, which is only smart if you think about it. Think of it like if you're playing a game like these video games, or you're watching these movies or whatever, and you're watching the scenario take place. It's only smart that you don't never bring out your big guns first, for obvious reasons, which I ain't got time for that now. But Russia also has China helping them, you know. So but now in a conventional warfare, with us and them, on a conventional warfare, we'd kick their butts from here to Timbuktu and to wherever, right? But sadly, this country's nuts. So well, that would we have some years ahead of them, but but you got to remember they had been busy behind the scenes too. So I guess at the most you could say it's kind of almost mutual, so to speak. I've seen what we got. My brother has seen what we got, and I know about what we got. Uh, but and of course there's some things that we got. No one knows what we got, and I will say that there's a lot of stuff that even a lot of people here don't know that we got, me included. But I mean, I know some of the things that they got it is really, I mean, awesome technology. But Russia had been busy behind the scenes too. No matter what kind of agreements they made in the past, they had still been busy. Busy beavers is what they've been. I know the joke. Okay, yeah, but anyway, I think that we got. Oh yeah, yeah, I agree with you. You got a lot of that too, and that's another thing that I was planning on getting into on some other live streams was about the UFO technology. That's some pretty cool stuff. Cause see, I might, on my other channel, so, and maybe a little bit here, as far as me personally, doing the paranormal ghost hunting thing. I'm not going to be doing that so much anymore, but I mean, off and on, maybe here and maybe there. But I want to be sticking with, oh, that's a birds. I want to be sticking with more on exploration, and but also looking on the investigating on UFOs and the hairy ones, the Bigfoot and the little people. I wanna kind of get a little bit more into that because on the paranormal, for me, and I like watching the others, everyone else's videos on that, but for me, it's like it's all been done, so to speak. Uh, I want to try to get into something that hasn't been. Well, I know, yeah, you got stuff on UFOs and you got on Bigfoot, but I want to try to uh, the best way that I can to get into trying to touch on the things that others have not. So, I want to do that with my other channel, the Warhorse Experience channel. Here, yeah, I'll do a little bit of everything here. Other people's stories and things. Who anyone who wants to do interviews or talk about their channel, what new stuff that they've been doing. Or what is happening. In the paranormal investigations or their Bigfoot investigations. All their cryptid investigations and what have you. And also, what's in the news are rants and raves and all kind of the latest waves type stuff. But um, yeah, that on the UFOs, I think that is very fascinating stuff. I've been doing some research and stuff on some of that, and it's very fascinating stuff indeed. Very fascinating stuff. And there's so much going on that we haven't, like, on the media, haven't uh, even heard yet of the stuff that's going on. And there's probably some stuff we never will know until whenever that day comes. Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. Too bad. Wish that guy with the smarts that he's got, if he could get a hold of YouTube and buy out the Google on for YouTube, right? And also Facebook. Now, if he if he, especially if he did any of the other social media, the ones I don't even want to have anything to do with, right? Well, if he was to buy them out, allow where you can have free speech, I'd be on it. Don't stop you from getting the crackpots on there, but I mean, hey, you got free speech. That's cool. But right now, when it comes to YouTube on free speech and these others, well, it's just a pipe dream. But it don't hurt to dream. You can wish, can hope, can pray. But anyway, I really got to get off of here. Oh dang, time has gotten away. I got to go and tend to my two boys, Yaya and Cheyenne. They got to get out and do their business, and they got to get fed here directly. But they got to do their thing. Do their thing. Do the poop toop and a scoopy doop doop. Yeah, sorry. See what social media does to you. Sad, pitiful. I'm telling you, just pitiful. Okay, hey, I'm glad you stopped in, bro. And hey, yeah, because I love when we agree that we disagree, and we agree on some things and stuff. I always love that because I get to learn things too, and that's cool. It is awesome. Okay. Hey, happy trails to you. Da-da, da-da. All right. Hey, later, y'all. Love you all. Be blessed, and I will see you in the funny papers. Later, y'all.